Good morning, everybody. We are back. It is the right side of campus, and we are live on a Monday, August 2018. I'm your host, the big man on campus here, joined by Donnie Rightside. Donnie, how you doing today?
Doing good today, Monday. Rested and ready for another week of gambling, another week of shows, Jeff. And this week we finally have some Eagles football to watch. We'll recap what happened at the Hall of Fame, Hall of Fame induction speech. A lot of fun on that as well. So we'll have a good time today, Jeff, as usual here on the right side of campus.
Yep, looking forward to it. Make sure you're hitting the like button. Make sure you're retweeting the show if you can. It's a great way to get it out to people that might not see it on a regular basis. Hope everyone had a great weekend. Donnie, how was your week?
No, week was good. Spent it down the shore a couple days. Had a nice gambling check arriving for me there in my account for Monday morning. So profitable week, fun week, sunny week, all good there. If you haven't done so yet there, folks, also looking right through here on YouTube, give us a follow. Down below, hit the subscribe button every time me and the big man on campus go live here on the channels at sportsbookreview.com. You will get that notification. Also, if you haven't done so yet, follow us on Twitter at SBR Sports Picks. Get the latest odds, updates, and everything. One of my favorite things that our account does, Jeff, is it tweets out odds of Tiger Woods, even though he has no shot to win at all, any tournament whatsoever. Always a good follow, SBR Sports Picks there on Twitter. Also, if you're seeing just under the logo there of SBR is Bovada. Yes, the right side of campus's promoted Sportsbook of the week is Bovada. Brand new interface on there. Good payouts, Jeff. And again, I can't say it enough. If you are a dog player out there and like to take the underdog, Bovada is the book for you. The promoted Sportsbook of the week here at sportsbookreview.com and the right side of campus.
Let's jump into the show. We'll start out with morning headlines. This one's not really a headline as far as concerning us, but I just thought it was weird. The Game, people know who The Game is, the rapper. I'm a big fan of his. I know a lot of people are. He was playing in Drew League, which I'm not sure why he was playing in Drew League. I don't really understand that, but he was. He was playing there. If you don't know what Drew League is, it's basically a league in the summer. It's one of the better leagues. A lot of pros playing it and that kind of thing. According to reports, Don, and according to the video, a game wasn't happy with one of his teammates. He got in a fight with his own teammate during a game. What's this all about?
Actually, I have no idea what it's all about, but I hope that you tell me what it's about here.
That's
Give me
the
the blow
point.
by blow here. What was going on? Yes.
That's the point. Nobody knows what it's all about. I guess he wasn't happy. I haven't seen the whole video, so there's no way for me to know. They haven't really put it out. He just apologizes for it and says that he's upset about his actions and that kind of everything. I guess they had their different opinions on stuff and came to blows in the middle of the court. So a game obviously wasn't happy. They basically squared up and they went at it. Now keep in mind they're not on the opposite team; they're on the same team. And I know this has nothing to do with gambling, but I thought it was a funny story. Game obviously still not backing down from threats, Donnie. He gets at you if
Nope.
you get at him.
I would have liked if
Um,
Ja Rule was in it there with him, Jeff. And by the way, little off side note here, going down the shore to Brigantine. Obviously, to get to Brigantine, you got to pass directly through Atlantic City, Jeff. Would you be interested in a Ja Rule and Ashanti concert coming to Atlantic City soon?
would I be interested in that? You say?
Yeah, you going? Are you hit? Is 50 Cent going to be
I don't,
there? Is
I don't think
Game
I
going to
would.
be there? Yeah.
I don't think I'd be against it. No, I think that I grew up on that. I grew up on that stuff. So Murder Inc. was part of my collection growing up. So look, I don't know about Ja Rule. I don't know about him, but Ashanti I liked a lot. I was a big fan of hers. I would like to see maybe Charlie Baltimore there. Loon
Hmm.
won't be there. None of those guys, just
No,
bad boy
no.
guys. I'd like to see them as well, maybe someday. But yeah, that would be kind of interesting, I think. So yeah, Game apologizes. I guess that will go by the wayside. But we all know that if you're going to bring him into the game, make sure you're aware he will still fight you. Where are we going here? Where are we going here? Hall of Fame. The Hall of Fame over the weekend. There were some good speeches. A lot of guys were inducted. Ray Lewis, Brian Dawkins, all sorts of guys. Dawkins with obviously a very poignant, passionate speech. Sorry, Donnie. I thought his was the best speech, and I'm not being particular there. I thought his speech was fantastic. Ray Lewis's was kind of weird. Loon's not locked up actually. He got released a while ago. But yeah. So Hall of Fame. What did you think about the speech?
I thought it was cool. Hey, man, it's been a while since watching a Philadelphia Eagles guy out there trying to get inducted into the Hall of Fame and finally getting it done. It's just when you show the reaction of the crowd and how many people traveled, Jeff, to Canton, Ohio to support Brian Dawkins going in there shows you how much he meant to the community and also to the Philadelphia Eagles. And if you have, again, look, growing up in my time range here, you put guys on like the pantheon of sports in your city. Well, you really find it hard pressed, Jeff, to find a guy that can, and talk about a guy, Jeff, that didn't even win a championship, that connected more with the city and is more beloved than anybody in the city of Philadelphia. I mean, Dr. J is a beloved figure. He won a title, but if you just ask people who your favorite Philadelphia athlete is, it comes up Brian Dawkins, Jeff, more than any other. And he gave a great speech. It was impassioned. I didn't get the chance to watch too much of the Ray Lewis speech. I was in action on some Major League Baseball plays, but I did flip back and forth, and it seemed like he talked for 4 hours. So I probably caught a good bit of it.
Yeah, I generally like him, but I don't know. I thought it was a bit odd. But yeah, the Dawkins speech is very good. I know, like you said, if you're from this town, you're kind of in, that, you know, your age group, my age group. I mean, we remember Dawkins. I mean, he was, maybe the young Eagles fans might not, just because they weren't around. But if an Eagles fan in our age group, Donnie's age group, you remember Dawkins. I mean, Weapon X was the best safety, arguably ever. I mean, probably ever. Uh, Safeties don't get into the Hall of Fame, Donnie. Doesn't happen very often. Uh, Dawkins did. So, his speech was great. It was terrific. I enjoyed it a lot. Browns. The Cleveland Browns continue to surprise. I don't know that I ever understand anything they do, and this is no different. The Cleveland Browns trade Corey Coleman to the Bills for a 7th-round pick. Um, if you can understand this, I'd like to hear it. I don't know that I can. I don't know if anyone can. This is a team obviously coming into the year with a lot of question marks. I mean, Josh Gordon hasn't even practiced yet. I mean, you don't have much else at wide receiver. What the hell are you trading Corey Coleman away for?
Yeah, and it's if you just rewind the tape on the right side of campus for whatever we do, it's so easy to beat on the Cleveland Browns. I mean, they're just the most inept organization. I have to repeat the same thing since 1999 coming to the league. They're a flat-out embarrassment. Their owner's an embarrassment. Their head coach is an embarrassment. Their front office is a straight-up embarrassment and just straight-up clown, corny, and dumb. They will tell you all along it's better to trade away your picks and whoever you could have got, Julio Jones. Imagine if they had Julio Jones and Carson Wentz throwing the football there for the Cleveland Browns as opposed to a junk bag of picks, which if you have, like Jeff, we live in the city of Philadelphia. Can you imagine the thought process behind the Eagles coming out? Hey, we're going to have a press conference at 1 o'clock. By the way, Brian Colangelo is going to run the Philadelphia Eagles. You'd be like, hold on. Or how about this, Jeff? Press conference at 2 o'clock. Matt Klentak is now the GM of the Philadelphia Eagles. Or how about this, Jeff? A known lawyer in the city is going to be the GM of the Philadelphia Eagles. That is what the Cleveland Browns do. Is there a wonder why the last 10 years of all these picks, they just don't work out for the Browns? No. You can't be trying a case in court at 4 o'clock and then 6 o'clock be trying to put together a complete team in the NFL for the Cleveland Browns. And when's the last time that scouting Chris Sale helped you when you're trying to scout for a quarterback in the NFL? The Browns get everything they get. And also, let's take a look, Jeff. This super talented roster. And oh my God, our wide receivers are the best in the league. It's Jarvis Landry, Jeff, and who on that team at wideout? Did I miss something now?
Jeff Janis. Don't forget about him. I mean, he's a good player. But no, I mean, I don't understand. Yeah, I mean, you get rid of Coleman. I mean, one of these young guys that maybe had some promise. I know he got injured, but I think one of the 2 years he's been in the league. But overall, I mean, 56 catches. I mean, I'm sure he's a guy that could get you 40, 50 catches this year, help you out, make you a better football team. I don't understand the thought process here ever with anything the fucking Browns do. Keep in mind, Coleman was a 1st-round pick as well. So you basically gave up a 1st-round pick for a 7th-round pick. Another fail there. And keep in mind,
what was
Donnie,
he supposed to do, Jeff? Like, what was Coleman supposed to do? If I was a wide receiver, Jeff, growing up, if your quarterback blows and can't get you the football when you're open time and time and time and time again, how is it your fault? So they ship you out, not the shit quarterback or the shit general manager, the shit owner, or even the shit head coach. Like, what are you supposed to do as a wide receiver when they can't even get you the football?
Agreed. Keep in mind also, Coleman was the player that the Browns took for the Carson Wentz trade. Corey Coleman at number 8. So he was involved in that. Bills GM called this move a low risk move. Yeah, I would think. I mean, you fleece the Browns to give you a wide receiver for a fucking 7th round pick in 2020, not even next year. Yeah, incredibly stupid. I don't understand. I mean, listen, a lot of pit moves you can make some kind of sense in the other side. I don't see the sense here, especially when you don't have really anything at wide receiver. The only thing that I would think is, I guess they're going to go out and get Des Bryant now. I don't know. I don't understand why you would do that though. You have a young player here that basically probably do the same thing, if not more. Um, the Browns are just a dumb organization. We all know that, and they only furthered that with this move here.
Yep, exactly.
Philadelphia.
Hold on real quick, Jeff. The whole Jimmy Haslam regime here. They just posted another stat there on ESPN, Jeff. 2002 to 2016, they had 8 first-round draft picks, Jeff. None of them are on the current roster. None of them. So go ahead and let them tell you, have a lawyer run your front office with Paul DePodesta and the Sabermetricians and whiff on every single first-round pick. That's awesome, man. That is awesome.
Yeah, nice work. Eagles. You talk about 2 guys that should be extended and are doing a nice job. Eagles extend Howie Roseman and Doug Peterson. Howie Roseman, obviously integral and one of the reasons the Eagles won the Super Bowl with his terrific offseason moves after Chip Kelly absolutely destroyed this franchise. To go from that to this, Howie Roseman's done a great job. Nice to see him extended through 2022. And Doug Peterson gets a little bit of a guarantee after his Super Bowl win. He gets extended as well. Everything's coming up great in Birdsland, Donnie. Now all we got to do is hope we don't have any injuries. Eagles flying into the 2019 season on a high. They're being, again, just to remind you all, Super Bowl champions. We head into the season, little preseason game on Thursday against the Pittsburgh Steelers. No injuries. I'm feeling good.
Yeah, no, it's a good time to be alive. Went last week. I missed the round table, but I did have some fun out at Eagles camp. They're big. They look ready. They're loaded. They're ready to go. Good coaching staff. I mean, everything is falling in line. Is it hard to repeat as a Super Bowl champion? Of course it is, man. I mean, how long have we waited just for one of those? But it's nice to have some front office stability. Doug Peterson, good football coach. Howie Roseman, genius back there working contracts, making moves out there, bringing in Wentz. Now you have your franchise quarterback coming back this season. Is he going to start game 1 or game 2? We don't know that yet, but damn, it's nice to fall back and have a backup quarterback that's actually a Super Bowl MVP and a tried and tested quarterback in the NFL. Eagles are ready to do some damage this year. We'll see how it breaks out because, you are the hunted now as opposed to, trying to track down somebody and get after it. But hey, we'll see what's going to take place for the Eagles. It all opens up. Opening night, Jeff, will be a lot of fun versus the Atlanta Falcons, but well-deserved contract extensions. I mean, if they could have given them a lifetime extension, I don't think anybody would even have batted an eye at this point since they provided the Super Bowl trophy.
Mark T, Josh Gordon's still in the Browns. It doesn't matter. He's not playing. Josh Gordon
He's
could be on the
I mean,
Browns only
they
once.
should have cut him 3 years ago. Like Josh Gordon should.
Right.
That's the whole ineptness about like whether Josh Gordon plays or doesn't play doesn't make any difference on the Cleveland Browns. But you know what it does? It circumvents the system because how about if you're hearing in the background like, oh, Corey Coleman, Jeff. Boy, he was just lazy around camp. You know what I'm saying? You got a dude that smokes his ass off, shows up here drunk, and you keep him around for years when he's not even eligible to play. Yeah, I'll skip that meeting. Thanks.
And you give him chance over chance. I'll tell you what, too. I don't want to see any bullshit either. This better be on Hard Knocks. I want to see this. I want to see the ineptness of this thing actually on TV. I want to see him go into the office and that idiot Hugh Jackson sits down and says, "Hey, listen, we're gonna trade you here. We're gonna trade you for a 7th round pick." I want to see all this. There better not be anything held back with this shithead team. And the fact that, you know what's funny this year, Donnie? It's all going to be on fucking TV. That's what's great about it. It's not going to be hidden anymore. They gotta do all this stupid shit on TV. And who knows who they'll trade away or get rid of before the season starts? Cutting people and stuff. That should be interesting. Yeah, Mark T. Keep believing that. So Mark T, you think he's going to come in and be a Pro Bowler right away? I mean, get real. Come on, Mark. You're smarter than that. You know you got to practice. You know you got to go to training camp. This guy can't even get on the field. He's too emotional.
Yeah.
This guy hasn't played in years. You're actually putting your future in the hands of Josh Gordon? And get out of here with that. You're smarter than that. Big man, back-to-back question mark. For the Eagles? I don't know. That's a tough question. I think they're the most talented team in the NFL. I believe that. I think they've gotten better than they were last year. Carson's obviously going to be hungry for his own Super Bowl. Yeah, I think they have as good a chance as anybody. It's hard to do that, but you know what, Donnie? I think it's great knowing that Carson Wentz didn't win the Super Bowl. He was the one guy that didn't. I think he's going to be
Yeah.
hungry to get his own. So I don't know that we'll see a big, decline. You have a lot of new players in this team that want to win a Super Bowl as well. It's going to be difficult. Okay, Mark. Listen, Donnie. Mark obviously believes Josh Gordon's going to fix the Browns. Mark, that's fine. You're
I
a
mean, whether
Browns
he
fan.
plays or
No,
also whether he
right.
plays or doesn't play. I mean, he has arguably the worst throwing quarterback in the NFL trying to get him the football with Tyrod Taylor. And then you're going to go, if he doesn't work out, to a rookie who's never played in the league. So I can only imagine what's going to drive him to drink and smoke even more than having two bad quarterbacks and try to make a living off of that. I just think they should look, if you want to pay Josh Gordon and get him help, like let's say you really care about the Cleveland Browns and you really care about, Josh Gordon. If you're the owner out there, Jeff, I just deactivate him for the year. So don't worry about it, man. You're going to get your salary. You're not suspended. Just get your life in order, and I'll take care of you like a son at this point. It's not that big of a deal. Him getting back on the football field should be the last thing that he and the Cleveland Browns are actually worried about here.
Must be nice to be in the NFL. I mean, what if what if Josh Gordon was on the street, like he was getting a job, and Donnie, let me ask you. So, I
Yeah.
know you're compassionate, but at some time you have to run a business. If you had a guy working for you that, you know, I mean, this
Didn't
is the
show
third or
up?
fourth time. Yeah, yeah, third or
Yeah.
fourth time.
Yeah.
He's got some substance abuse problems. How long would you put up with that? Seriously.
No, I mean, you're going to be compassionate at first, but when the rubber meets the road, and let's just say you own a shop or you're a construction guy, and you got the guys coming in supposed to lay concrete at 4 a.m. in the morning, so you can start the foundation or whatever, start something else in the afternoon, and he doesn't show up, so the entire chain of process breaks completely down. There's no, I mean, you're gone. In any walk of life, you're gone outside of the NFL. But again, they had gotten away with not paying him for years, and he is a talent. And oh my God, look how hard he's working the all season and jacked up, and out of nowhere, I can't come to camp. Just put the guy on the non-football injury-related list and just pay him for the year. Get his mind right. Maybe he never comes back to the Cleveland Browns. But at least you can sleep with a clear conscience. Says, you know what? If you come to the Cleveland Browns here, we're going to take care of you and make sure you're a good human being first and foremost before we even get you onto the football field. Just typical Browns nonsense. And
Uh,
Jeff, backing up the
Donnie,
Browns. Now, you do see there's one little thing down low here, right?
hey,
Says,
real quick, hold
is
on a second.
Tiger... All right, Jeff, go ahead.
Hold on 1 second. Donnie, you're a little rough on Tyrod. He had absolutely no weapons. Listen, first of all, no,
Nah,
he's not.
14. Nah,
Second,
hold on. Stop. Like, I'll
no,
answer
no,
it right
I want
away.
to say something.
Look, go ahead. All right.
This that's that. Let's go through some facts here. 7. First of all, he had one of the worst completion percentages in the league. First of all, what do you mean he didn't have any weapons? Donnie, did I miss Sammy Watkins last year and others? Did I miss those guys?
I mean, I've seen way worse weapons out there on the field than
Sure.
anybody. I mean, you're talking about like when Carson Wentz broke in, he's throwing the Dorial Green Beckham and,
Right.
guys that are just can't even play in the and Nelson Aguilar at
Who's
that time
Russell
who
Wilson
couldn't
throw?
catch a fly. No,
Who's Russell Wilson have?
exactly. You know.
Come on.
No, but
Come on with
just to get
that.
back on that point, you can't be an NFL quarterback or a viable NFL quarterback and start 15 games in the NFL, which Jeff is a passing league. You have to be able to pass the football and throw for 14 touchdowns in 15 games. And if there's any game tape that you ever want to see that says, you know what, Tyrod can play in this league, just pop on the playoff game last year, the wild card round, and watch both Blake Bortles and Tyrod Taylor get after it, and you tell me who's a good quarterback at that point.
There you go. Why don't you get into the last segment, Donnie?
Yeah, last one. Look, I like to have fun. Look, the energy's low, Jeff. The energy's low out there on the Twitter sphere, on the PGA Tour. Like, I got no tweets all weekend here for us. I mean, am I the only guy that just sits up here and chuckles? Tiger Woods was the favorite betting-wise to win the Masters, which is always fun. And then comes into this week, past week, Jeff, in the WGC, which is like a top 50, top 70 player tournament. And he was ranked number 3, Jeff, as the best odds to win this tournament with like the top 50 players in the world. Look, if it's a one-day tournament for Tiger Woods, Jeff, one day, and we're going to fast forward just a little bit to Thanksgiving Day with Phil Mickelson one-on-one, Tiger can win that one-on-one with an old man like Phil Mickelson because he's an old man. You can't expect Tiger Woods at this age, at this point of his career, with his back fusions, with not being able to win or remember how to win, to compete with these young kids out there, 22, 23, 24, 25, nerves of steel and can bomb the ball. You see it every week. Tiger can't get through 4 rounds. It's not about injuries there. It's just about being an old man. You just fade. It's hot as hell out there. You're walking miles per day. What do you need this for at this point? Shoots +3 on Saturday, +3 on Sunday, 15 shots back in the WGC. And I can't wait to see an updated board this weekend when they put out the odds, Jeff, for Tiger Woods, and we all get another chuckle that he even appears in the top 10 as a chance to win the PGA Championship. It's not about hating Tiger Woods. If Tiger Woods came out this week, Jeff, and they put him 40th in odds to win, I would say, you know what? Now we're finally getting back to normal. But again, I leave the question to you, Jeff. Tiger Woods, is he back or nah?
Tiger Woods is 15-1 to win the PGA.
It should be 1,500 to 1, honestly. It really should be.
All right, let's get into baseball here. We gave enough time to that. Tiger Woods, I love it. I hate that wife cheater. Because everyone doesn't cheat on their wife. A lot of people do that. Let's not make it out like he beats her or something. Come on, settle down.
It's just I always have fun with it. It's fun when Tiger can actually be in it on the weekend because they get a lot of energy and here he comes and this and that. And Tiger Woods is the favorite now in round 3 to win the actual tournament. And it's just, he's always going to fade back there, but it's not a problem about it. It's just, just be a realist. If you can just enjoy Tiger Woods out there, just of the pomp and the circumstance, yes, that's going to be fun. But he's so far away from winning at this point. That's just the only point that I bring up, Jeff. He just has, and they keep propping him back up. He hasn't won in so long, but yet he's still in the top 5, top 6, top 7 out there. And we'll see it again at the PGA, which is a tough-ass course in hot-ass conditions, Jeff, just outside of St. Louis, Missouri. He's got no shot, but they'll put him on there after day 1. And, if he's 2 under, they'll have a parade and do all the pomp and circumstance,
But again, I don't like the fact that people are lying about Tiger Woods. What are you talking about, Mikey? 19 Perkins? What is that? What are you talking about? That's not true.
He loves Perkins waitresses. He does.
That's not true. 19 Perkins. That's not true. Stop putting that out there. That is not true, Mike. You're making stuff up. Not going to do it on the show. Sorry. 19 Perkins waitresses is not true. If he had 1, okay, that's not 19. Stop making stuff up.
Yeah, and instead, it says, Nick Dial says, why did Kobe need to play the last 5 years in the NBA? Get out of here, Donnie. That doesn't have anything to do. Do we expect Kobe to win? Was Kobe the odds-on favorite to be MVP of the National Basketball League and maybe odds-on favorite for the Lakers to win a title? No, they were a train wreck. That's the point. If Tiger was 1,500 to 1 every golf tournament he came into, I would never have a peep because that's about right in that situation.
Donnie, the funny thing about you is this is what you don't seem to understand. You do, so you make the case that everyone follows Tiger, which they do. He has a lot of fans.
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
So Donnie, you're not a stupid guy. You understand betting markets. Of course, they're going to list him at those odds. People will bet them. That's why they do it.
Yes, that's my whole point. That's my whole point.
It's not your point.
Half my Twitter handle, Jeff, half my Twitter handle is Las Vegas should be investigated by the Federal Bureau of Investigations for absolute fraud on the consumer. Because when they see Tiger Woods listed at number 3 betting odds, they believe that he has a shot to win and they lay their money on it. That's not fair odds. Plus 800 or plus 1,000 on Tiger Woods, that's not odds. Las Vegas bookmakers should be in jail for the odds they put up for the fraudulent numbers. Tiger's true payback should be 100 to 1, not 10 to 1. That's half of my point.
No, it shouldn't. He's won the Bridgestone many times. He was a good pick.
Yeah, in 1971. He won the Bridgestone 8 times. That in 1971. Dr. J won a dunk competition in '83. Doesn't mean he can get out and win it this year. Come on.
Yeah, listen, Donnie, I think people are tired of the Donnie stuff.
No, they're not tired of it. I'm going to keep on stomping it because I'm winning every week against this theory. And the energy is low out there. And it'll ramp up again. Look, always remember, you say, you know what? When you're an old man, Jeff, when it's 2045 or 2050, you're going to look back and be like, that motherfucker was right, man. Tiger never won again. And he said it every single week, even though Tiger was a top 5 betting favorite every week.
I don't think you're there are plenty of golfers that don't win. The fact that you call him every week that he doesn't win. We
yes,
get it.
Not even like I'm backloaded on this saying Cleveland's never going to win an NFL championship. We know that because you know what? Cleveland's odds are so low, it makes it correct. But I'm fading a top 5 guy every single week, and it's coming up roses, Jeff. That's the whole point of it. If Tiger had 15 to 1 odds, had 150 to 1 as opposed to 15, You'd be like, yo, go Tiger. Go ahead. Show all these guys.
Donnie's actually he's found some magic potion because he picks Tiger to not win every week.
Why you
Donnie,
picked
how
them?
much
You picked
money
them
are you
like
making
3 or
off?
4 straight weeks to win. Hold on. You picked them like 3.
I
You should listen to
Donnie,
me. I'm
I
trying to
picked
school
it
you on this.
all. It's sarcasm.
Yes, you
I don't
did.
really
You're on
prove
live
it.
saying I just took Tiger Woods live to win this golf tournament like 3 weeks ago. I'm like, no,
You
don't
actually
waste
believe
it.
that?
No.
Come on, it's
Yes.
sarcasm. Listen, I like Tiger Woods, okay, but I don't think it's out of line to say he's not going to win a tournament. I thought this
No, but
weekend he had a
but
good
look,
shot.
I have the ski. Remember last week? I caught some flack for this. Tiger, skip the Bridgestone. Playing the Barracuda Open out in Reno, Nevada. Tiger, skip the British Open. Playing the Barbasol Clay. Like, I have the path to victory. But again, I do have to leave this with one last point, Jeff. Smartest move Tiger Woods ever made was, look, if you can't beat an entire field of really good golfers, play one old man one-on-one. I think he can beat Phil Mickelson one-on-one. That's where his
Donnie,
next
the
win
point
is gonna.
is, how much money have you made off fading Tiger Woods? None. You're not doing it.
There's no point in making
The-
it. Like, what am I going to do? Put $1,000 to win like $100? That's just
No,
ludicrous. I'm just
no.
out here as a public service announcement that says, if anybody out there, if I was running the government, Jeff, I would trace Las Vegas wagers, and anybody who bet money on Tiger Woods, I would open up an investigation into their financing, because there's a reason why this country is trillions of dollars in debt, and a good reason for that is stop wasting your money on Tiger Woods futures, man.
Yeah, sure, that's what it is. One other piece we didn't add here: a Save Urban Meyer online petition has garnered more than
Ooh.
26,000 signatures for people supporting the embattled coach. This is why, Donnie, we're in the state of world we are in. Stuff like this, not because we're betting on Tiger Woods. This is why they're actually almost 35,000 signatures on a piece of paper supporting a guy that's been an absolute scoundrel his entire career. This is why we're in the state we are. Stuff like this. Let's move on to baseball. I mean, this just makes you sick anymore. Yankees. They get swept by the Red Sox. I don't know what else you want me to say. They lose 4 in a row. They're 9.5 games back. They're not going to win the AL East. And now they got to focus on the wild card. Do you have anything to say on this, Donnie?
Yeah, I mean, now you're just, I mean, I guess you like proposition your team as the Yankees and say, look, we're still a really good baseball team. Boston's clearly ahead of us, much, much better overall organization and team at this point. But that doesn't mean your season is going to be a wreck. How do you refocus yourself? Because now you got to hold off like those wild card teams, like the A's or the Mariners at this point, or anybody trying to creep up. Do you try to rest pitchers in there? Because, I mean, the division is gone. There's no shot to win the AL East. But now you're trying to get into that playoff race. And again, Jeff, you know what hurts about this is you're going to lose out on the division. So now if you do get in the playoffs, you get into a one-game situation. So you're probably going to get somebody on the other team's ace against your ace, who your ace right now is bumbling around in Severino and doesn't look too good. So that whole one-game scenario where you want to let all your bats ride and through a 5 or 7 game series, you can hold on if you're the Yankees. But it doesn't look too promising at this point now, Jeff, thinking if they do get in the playoffs, they head into a one-game wild card situation.
Braves beat the Mets. Nice win for the Braves. They tried giving it away.
They did.
But
they were down
they were
3-0,
able
I think.
lead off double in the bottom of the 10th. They were able to work around it and able to get the job done. I mean, they had the lead, gave it up once, had the lead again, almost gave it up twice. Braves get the job done. Phillies, Donnie, also with a big win in the NL East. They beat the Marlins. I believe it was Asdrubal Cabrera with a 2-run shot, 5-3. Phillies win. Couple of nice wins for the NL East.
Yeah, and the Washington Nationals held on for a 2-1 win over the Cincinnati Reds. So top 3 in there trying to separate themselves. Washington's still a little bit back there, but the Phillies and the Braves, it's going to be a good one watching the rest of the year. The Phillies, again, continue to get really, really good starting pitching out of their young guys. And the back end of the bullpen's holding up. They just need to get those bats to come around, which it seems like they're coming around in some clutch moments. But again, remember here, folks, playing the Marlins. Now you go out on the West Coast. You go into the big humidor to face a pretty good Diamondbacks team. We'll see what shows up now.
Yeah, tough series here coming up against the one of the better teams in the NL in Arizona. Colorado bullpen added again. They had a lead, blow it almost again. Dan Ottaviano comes in and gives up the lead.
Octavino,
Able to finish it though with a big home run. or something. I don't know how they finished. They did win though. That $100 million bullpen sucks. If you're betting on Colorado full game, make sure you get the heart burn medicine ready as well. Colorado generally blows it.
Yeah, I guess it would be Jeff first five or nothing if you're betting the Rockies at this point, and it's just baffling because they do have names and big money on the back end where they say, you know what, if there's one reason we need to hold on over the offseason, spend some money, let's solidify that back end and have a real good chance at closing out games. And this whole series versus the Cardinals was just hilarious. Just take a lead in the ninth, blow it. Take a lead in the ninth, blow it, and then you actually won yesterday, so you got lucky on that one. But boy, if you're a starting pitcher, you work hard, and wins. I know, in the grand scheme of things, wins for starting pitchers don't really mean all that much, but they love to get them and stack them up. It's nice, Jeff, when you have a good season and your offense picks you up and you go like 17-7 as opposed to 7-17. It seems like for some of these guys out there, but it's just pretty funny to watch where the same MO every night, Jeff. Bring the big boys in late for Colorado, blow the lead right away.
All right, John Cherry. I wasn't going to overreact, but I guess I'm going to have to now. John Cherry, these Yankees getting swept overreactions are ridiculous. They don't play another team over 500 until September. Come on, friends. Don't be fooled on 4 games of data. The problem is, John, they don't play the Red Sox again. They can't beat them. Who gives a shit who they play the rest of the year? They're not going to win the division, John. I mean, what are you talking about? They're 9.5 games back. What are you talking about, man? What do you mean they're not overreacting? They just got fucking swept in a 4-game series by the fucking Red Sox. What are you talking about, man? Their manager can't manage. They don't have any pitching. Their bullpen can't get anyone out. What are you talking about? That's one of the stupidest things I've ever seen on this show. It's one of the dumbest comments I've ever seen. And I'll tell you what, I'm not in the fucking mood today after last night to hear that. John, you're a good commenter, but that's absolutely moronic, what you just said. I can't believe what I'm hearing on this show today. I can't believe it. Donnie, save me from jumping off the fucking plank because I'm not sure.
I think the whole comment there is I'm not a Yankees fan, but they're a really good baseball team in Major League standards. I think the whole point was, whole starting off was, look, you lost the division. Now you got to center on playing that wild card round and making sure you get into the wild card round with a healthy baseball team to give you a shot in the playoffs. Is the whole thing. Nobody's saying the Yankees are a bad baseball team. They're just not as good as the best team in baseball. There's no shame in that.
A's and Mariners win as well. A's keep moving, keep winning games.
Yeah.
5 in a row again. They've been on a couple different winning streaks. Nice job by Oakland. Seattle gets it done as well.
Yeah, both of them. And look, they're the teams that are going to creep up out west. You're going to chase down. I don't think either one of those teams, Jeff, actually is going to chase down the Astros once they get healthy and continue the rest of the season. But both of those teams are going to be in that wild card race, the teams that are going to be in there fighting with the Yankees. Do they have enough firepower? It looks like, Seattle, nice win yesterday, leaking a little bit of oil at the plate, not getting those super clutch hits that they typically get. But we'll see as it goes the rest of the year. You're going to go through those highs and lows. The A's are just playing some fun baseball. You look at them, Jeff, the lineup is really nice. In the back of the bullpen, I like the bullpen, man. They have some really good pieces back there. Blake trying to close it out. Trevino. I mean, they have some guys that can throw. But something to me, Jeff, I'm just waiting on that starting pitching just to fail. And so that bit of that older guy, the Brett Andersons of the world. And then you have the younger guys in there trying to hold it down as well. I think that's what we're waiting on. But it's a fun team to root for. And I would like to see them sneak in the back door to get in the playoffs in one of those wild card spots.
Yep, and beat the Yankees, of course. Settle down. No, I'm not settling down. I'm not settling down. This has come to a head for a long fucking time, okay? I'm sick of fucking Aaron Boone. Why the fuck are you putting Jonathan motherfucking Holder into the game that's tied? Okay, why aren't you stepping into throws when you're throwing the fucking ball to first? Why can't your goddamn closer get anyone out? Why are you pitching him every 4 fucking days? It's all fucking bad managing by this fucking guy. Move on to today's action, Donnie. What do we have?
Let's see. Let's bring up some information today on that. All right, Jeff. Today, hey, look, a little bit easier of a task, so to speak, Jeff, for your New York Yankees as they're going to go in and face the Chicago White Sox. To bring up some numbers here. Lance, here we go, Jeff. Nothing better than an ace stopper like Lance Lynn to take the man on the road, 963, 964 versus Dylan Covey, 72% of the tickets lining up on the Yankees, Jeff. How about this? Lance Lynn coming in 185, 190, and now sitting currently across the board, 190 at Intertops, 190 at Chris, 180 at Five Dimes. Lance Ace Lynn out there on the mound today, Jeff, versus a pretty bum team, but those bums can swing the bats a little bit. Let's see if the Yankees, fresh up, and we all know, Jeff, one of people's favorite capping angles, play that game on Sunday night, fly out. We're all really tired going on the road. How's that going to play a factor into tonight?
Yeah, this is a tough spot. I mean, obviously, you have a guy leading you that has no idea what he's doing. You have to go out to Chicago, a team that's actually playing pretty good baseball right now. They've won four in a row. They're off a sweep against Tampa. Nice series there for the White Sox. And I mean, does anyone have any trust in Lance Lynn? I mean, this is another thing you have to add to the reasoning on why Aaron Boone should be managing. He totally screwed up the rotation this weekend by putting a Lance Lynn in a game that was completely over. You shouldn't have put him in the game. It screwed the whole rotation up. Sessa couldn't go. Then you had to put Chance Adams in there, on Saturday. You could have maybe got a two-game, 2-2 in this series if you wouldn't have screwed the fucking rotation up. But now you get Lynn today. Covey hasn't had any success against the Yankees as a one start. He got absolutely crushed last year. But Covey's, I guess improving a bit. He's done a bit better at home. Listen, if you're laying this kind of price with the Yankees right now, get your fucking head examined. I'll tell you this, I wouldn't be taking the White Sox either, though. This is a game I wouldn't be getting involved in. The numbers coming down on the Yankees. People obviously not in belief that they can go out on the road. This is a tough spot. Game didn't end last night till about 1 o'clock, 12:30, 1 o'clock. You probably didn't get on a plane till 3. Short night. You got to come right back and play today. And by the way, this game is at 8:10, not 7:10. But yeah, it's a tough one. I'm not taking the Yankees, but I don't want a part of the White Sox either because Dylan Covey, I'm not a fan of.
Yeah, Kobe, 4.93 over the last 30 days, his Sierra rating, Jeff, and it increases over the last 2 weeks to 6.24. Yankees bats should come alive tonight. You're just worried about that hangover coming up to Boston, losing 4 straight games to your arch rival and being super deflated, Jeff, on a Sunday night baseball game. When you had that game in your back pocket, Tanaka throws a pretty good ball game, and you end up taking that loss. So we'll see what comes back tonight, Jeff. Pirates and the Rockies. Tonight out in Colorado, 9:55, 9:56. Musgrove versus Freeland, 70% of the early tickets, Jeff, coming in on the Colorado Rockies. Open up at 145, 150s. Come back a little bit, Jeff. Five Dimes showing right now a minus 135 in that game. If we take a look at some advanced stats, Freeland, 5.14 Sierra over the last 30 days, 4.32 over the last 14 days. Musgrove, not any better. Last 14 days, Jeff, which encompasses 2 starts, a 4.87 Sierra, and you're going in to that thin air of Colorado. Pittsburgh bats need to wake up, Jeff. It's always look, they had it rolling for a while. Then they put a couple guys in the DL. Starling Marte gets banged up, and all of a sudden they can't hit again. You go into Colorado, you better swing those bats to have a chance.
Yeah, I think the first 5 unders worth a look here. I mean, both these pitchers are terrific. Joe Musgrove's been great on the road. Freeland has been terrific at Coors really since his career started. He's from that area. He's had a good read on that park all year. I could see this one getting out of hand late or something, but I think in the first 5 innings, you're probably going to get a pretty good number. I'd probably guess you get 6 in this game. If you can get 6, I'd be looking under the number in the first 5. 2 pitches that I think can hold it down long enough. 2 pitches that I think can put up zeros long enough. Pittsburgh, not great against lefties, just pretty much average. I think this one will be pretty low scoring here. I'd at least try to grab it in the first 5. This could get wild late, but first 5 looks sleepy.
961, 962, Jeff, Seattle, Texas, LeBlanc and Perez, 2 lefties on the mound, 74% of tickets coming in on Seattle, Jeff, here on the road. Opens up at 115, 120. Looks like it's sitting in that same type of range. 117 at 5 Dimes, 119 at Bet Online. Over under, Jeff, 10.5 across the board. That should tell you something. So you're expecting those Seattle bats to wake up in this hitting environment. If you saw the weekend games, I guess, versus Baltimore, 2 bad teams matching up. But boy, I mean, runs weren't not at a premium there. Pretty easy to score down in Globe Life. Looks like they're expecting more runs in this one out of these 2 lefty pitchers.
Yeah, I mean, Wade LeBlanc off of a bad start. He didn't play well, and you're going into a bit of a cauldron here. Texas is playing pretty good offensively, at least. I mean, they won 5 of 7. They're murdering the ball. I'm a bit concerned about Wade LeBlanc here, and look, I think Seattle can hit Martin Perez. I mean, Perez is, I think, one of the worst pitchers in baseball. I don't think this guy can get anyone out.
He's got a lot of Tyler Chatwood in him, Jeff. He has a lot of Tyler Chatwood. Walks, struggles with command at times,
That's a good point. Yeah, you look at 5 of the last 6 between these two have gone over the number. I think you have a nice little start here with these two pitchers. LeBlanc, maybe we're going to see regression hit this guy. I mean, he's getting a hot team here that's at home. I think they could score some runs. Seattle will hit Perez. I think the over looks high. It's high for a reason. I think the game goes over the number.
Yeah, two decent pitchers next in this next one, Jeff, having some good numbers over the past 2 weeks and even over 30-day numbers. Phillies and the Diamondbacks here. If we take a look at the rotation, 957, 958, Arrieta and Godley. A nice little ticket split here, Jeff. 55%, 45% opened up at 120, 125. And I agree with the line moving earlier. 5 times, Jeff, showing now minus 135 in favor of the Arizona Diamondbacks. Godley's 30-day Sierra, Jeff, 318 and improves to a 2.43 over the last 2 weeks. Look at Arrieta, struggling overall month-wise, 4.07, but last 2 starts, a 3.32. So you're going to get some good pitching out there. But looking at overall, Jeff, with the Phillies, like what they've done is Drupal Carrera stepped in, already gave them a win. But now you're going on the road to face some pretty good competition. You know, last time we checked, going on the road versus the Reds, Phillies didn't turn out all that well. Tough game, fly across country against a good ball club that's going to be healthy for this one. Right now, Jeff, I agree with the line movement. I'm thinking Arizona here right now.
Yeah, I haven't looked much into this game. I don't have much on it. But again, anytime the Phillies are involved, I'll go off what you say. You know the team pretty well. Yeah, Arizona playing well. Yeah, I think it's a tough spot. It's always hard to go across the country. Yeah, I'm I'm not a big Arrieta guy. He struggled a bit this year. Looks like a pretty good play. Godley's been terrific. Yeah, I think the Diamondbacks are pretty good here.
Yeah, I won with Arrieta last week with in that Boston Red Sox game. Thought it matched up well. He's getting a really nice price. You know, this price to take a look at on the road. He's a good pitcher. Don't get me wrong. But if we're looking at one of those levels, you're only getting plus 120 back or something, that range on the road. It changes the dynamics a little bit. But Godley's numbers have been fantastic over the last 30 days. And again, just banking on the Phillies going cross country, first game there against a good ball club. I think there might be a little bit of value in Arizona. But that'll wrap up, Jeff, the MLB edition of the Right Side of Campus today for Monday, August 6th.
Thank God.
Hey,
Let's
Jeff,
move on.
where are we going next, Jeff? What team we're going to review in the NFL? Completely forgot about which team we're going to take a look at today.
Today it's the Dallas Cowboys, quote unquote, America's team. Let's revise that. Okay, they're not America's team anymore. Yeah, America's fucking hated. Everyone hates the fucking Cowboys, unless other than their little rat fans. They're the only people that like them. Yeah, dude, there's nothing worse, Donnie, than someone that lives in our area that likes the Cowboys. They're the lowest form of human on earth.
Yeah, but Jeff, people always like to come back and say you like the Yankees growing up in Philadelphia. They can counterpunch that a little bit.
But the New York's not very far. I don't have any connect. What connections do they have to Dallas?
No, the only difference in that is that the Yankees aren't the Phillies' direct rivals, so you get that there at least.
First of all, a lot of people like the Yankees. Like if you grew up on watching, the Jeters and the Riveras and that kind of player. Again, let's get into the Cowboys here. And again, we want to make it very clear. I know for me, I'm very, I'll be honest on what I think on these teams. You look at the Cowboys coming back here. Obviously, they're always in the news. But Ezekiel Elliott, you're going to get him for full season. No more suspensions or anything like that. You obviously lose Des Bryant. You lose Jason Witten. Dak, obviously another year. How will he come back after last year? He was, average at times. Pretty good offensive line. I think we can all agree there. It's always pretty strong with Zach Martin and Travis Frederick and guys like that. They do bring in Connor Williams, draft pick out of Texas. Nice little piece there to add him. Hopefully he can fill in that left guard position. But I think my big question with this group is the skill position players. What exactly do you have there? I mean, you bring in Tavon Austin, who's been a little bit of a letdown in his career, which I'm not really sure why you did that. You already have a slot receiver in Cole Beasley. Terrence Williams, I guess, is your number one. You have a lot of unproven, Michael Gallup and Deontay Thompson. If Alan Hearns is, just average. Before we look at the defense, Donnie, you'd have to admit this offense is obviously going to be all on Ezekiel Elliott's shoulders. Not a lot of weapons here other than Ezekiel Elliott.
No, and you know what's interesting about this here, Jeff? Because always over the past, first of all, I like to start this out. Their head coach is a fucking rockhead, all right? So that already puts you behind the eight ball with all the other football teams out there. And what I mean by that is not that he's not a nice guy, not that he's, claps on the sideline when they do well, and, he's a rah-rah guy, doesn't technically run the offense or the defense. He's really a CEO. And when Jerry Jones can pick up the phone and say, hey, Jason, we got to bench this guy in the second half. And he does do that. He is a quote unquote yes man. But here's the problem I used to have with the Dallas Cowboys, Jeff. You had a fantastic offensive line, one of the best running backs in the NFL. How many times, folks, if you're a Cowboys fan, if you just watch the Cowboys fan, if you bet on the Cowboys or against the Cowboys, 2nd and 1, 3rd and 1, and Jason Garrett refused to run the football behind that line with Ezekiel Elliott when he churns and burns at damn near 5 yards a clip, it seems like. That's the problem I have. But when we go into this year, expectations for the Cowboys will be lowered a little bit. Dak Prescott didn't have a great year last year. You finally got that moron wide receiver who, if the things aren't going right on the field, magnifies it on the sideline until you have to throw him the ball on 2nd and 1 and 3rd and 1 as a slant, or else he will fight your team in the huddle. That guy is now gone. What I want to see from the Cowboys this year and Jason Garrett, I don't give a damn about the defense. You have Ezekiel Elliott. Run him into the fucking ground this year if you want a chance to make the playoffs and have a good season. It's 1st and 10, Jason. Run the fucking ball. It's 2nd and 8, Jason. Run the fucking ball. It's 3rd and 1, Jason. Run the fucking ball. That's all I want to see if I'm betting the Dallas Cowboys this year and having them.
Yeah, I think this defense is decent. I don't think it's great. You have a lot of unproven guys in the secondary. I think up front they're decent. I like what they have there. You have some decent pass rushers. I think their linebackers are solid. But look, we all know Sean Lee can't stay healthy. I mean, can we really ever depend on this guy to give you a full season? I think their
No.
schedule's really tough. I'll be honest. I don't think they're a very good football team. I think they're a 7-win team, Donnie. Honestly, I think they're 500, little below that. I mean, you have a tough schedule here. I mean, you look at the season. You start out at Carolina, then you got to play the Giants, the Seahawks. You have the Lions. That's winnable. Texans is tough. Jags tough. At Washington. Then you get Tennessee and Atlanta. You got to play obviously the Eagles twice. You have a pretty decent end of the season. You should be able to get a few wins there. Get the Colts and the Bucks. You also got to play the Saints. This is a tough schedule. I think they're a 7-win team, Donnie. If that.
No, I'm a schedule guy too. I actually like the way, Jeff, their season opens up. But after that bye week, Tennessee's supposed to be a good football team. At the Eagles, at Atlanta. Then your rival, Washington, on a short week at home on Thanksgiving Day. Then you get New Orleans the following week. And again, here, you want to give me another rant, Jeff, on the Dallas Cowboys and how it's bullshit every single year that the Cowboys do not, and you've seen it on my Twitter, you see me yell and scream all last year. The Dallas Cowboys and the schedule makers get the benefit of the doubt. Them, now I do have to give a little bit of a preference there too. Detroit does, but just nobody really cares about Detroit. The Dallas Cowboys never play a true Thursday road game in the NFL over the past, I think it's 7 or 8 seasons. They always luck out on that and get the luck of the draw, always at home on Thanksgiving, which is a major advantage to get a team coming to your building and not even getting to practice before they play you. And then you never have to go on the road on a Thursday night football game after playing on a Sunday. It's bullshit. It's ridiculous, but it's where they get the NFL and America's team out there. We've always played on Thanksgiving. Bullshit. Get them off of Thanksgiving. Nobody gives a damn if the Cowboys are on at Thanksgiving every single year. Change that around and change that ridiculous scheduling loophole that gives the Dallas Cowboys a major advantage, Jeff, every single year. But the back end of their schedule, Jeff, tough one, man.
Yeah, very tough. And, I think the bookmakers agree with me. I think they're a 7-win team, if that. I think they're under 500. I don't think their offense is particularly strong. We know, like you said, coach is a fucking idiot. He'll get away from not running the ball. Defensively, I think they're average. I mean, they're very injury prone though. Jalen Smith, Sean Lee, injury prone. You have a decent defensive line, but nothing overly great. Secondary is very young. I mean, you have a lot of young kids in this secondary. There's no real veterans here, really anywhere you look. Yeah, I think the Cowboys are a 7-win team. I think that's what they are. I think you could make a case they finished 4th in the NFC East this year. I think Washington even might be a bit better. If the over/under 8.5, I'd be looking under. for sure.
Yeah, I'm
With
a
Dallas.
little bit higher on them, Jeff, because the only reason is I think he got rid. Like, look, they lost Jason Witten. The guy's a tin man the last 5 years. I can run faster than Jason Witten, so losing him, I don't really think means overall that much outside of the locker room. Losing Des Bryant is a major plus in that locker room. Now you can go out and whoever's open can get the football, not whoever's big and strong and is triple covered, who thinks he should have the ball every single play is gone. But again, it just gets back to the head coach, Jeff, which I don't have any reason to believe that they're going to change the philosophy. Yes, I know the NFL is a passing league, but this team is built to run the football and dominate off of play action, not passing to set up the run on this team. If the Cowboys run the football, they'll stay competitive in every single game because they can control the clock, but it all matters too as well, Jeff. We like to talk about injuries in the NFL. That offensive line needs to stay healthy. If it does and Zeke stays healthy, they'll be in football games this year.
You guys should do a top 10 worst coaches in sports list. All right, maybe we will. We have a slow day. We'll do that. Michael Gallup, look out for him. Listen, I mean, he's a rookie. We'll see what happens with
I
Michael
like Mike.
Gallup.
Hey, this is one of my favorite college players. I loved him at Colorado State. So when they drafted him, he had those little guys, Jeff, that like Michael Gallup. Who the hell is that? When we really know he's a good football player, but again, translating in the NFL is a little bit different. You're right.
So I'm going to go under the win total. They're not winning 9 games. Not going to happen.
Yeah.
We don't know who Michael Gallup is. You can. That's totally right. We know that he didn't catch passes from Nick Stevens at Colorado State. We know that Colin Hill didn't
Jalen
throw
Dawkins
passes
wasn't running the
that.
ball back there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Come on, cuz. Don't try to come at us. We know what we're talking about. Get the hell out of here. All right. We know who Michael Gallup is. All right.
Yeah. He's good football.
We know what we're doing. And we know he is a good football player. But going from the Mountain West to the NFL is a bit. We'll see.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone's counting him out. Let's get into the final segment, Donnie. We'll take a look tomorrow at the. I guess who would be next? The Miami Dolphins, maybe. I guess we'll have to see. Coming up next, though, Donnie. I want to talk about this. I'm glad we're going to get 5 minutes to talk about this because I didn't know this area on YouTube existed, and Donnie, maybe you didn't either, and maybe the listeners don't either. But there are people out there that seem to make videos on random things, Donnie. Like they're basically like astronomers, and they'll make videos on like what the world will look like a billion years from now, like shit like that. Like, which really doesn't matter because none of us are going to be here for it anyway. But so I watched this video last night, Donnie, of 5 things in the future that will happen, and it's all scientifically related on people actually believe that this stuff's going to happen. Guys like Stephen Hawking and rest in peace, Stephen Hawking. But they actually think stuff like this is going to happen. Like scientists believe that by 2035, people will live on Mars. Like that's something that is oddly being reported. And we're going to obviously, for this planet and to let this planet continue, Donnie, we're going to have to go to another planet, basically. That's what scientists are saying. But what had really me freaked out was, Donnie, do you know in the next 100 years, scientists actually believe that we're all going to be one being, basically. So there's going to be one group of people, and then there's going to be another group of people. The one group of people is going to be basically an esteemed class. They're basically going to all look the same, all sound the same, kind of all be similar. And then there's going to be another group that are basically lower level people. They're going to look different. They're going to act different. They're going to look basically like, I have to send you the video. It's quite scary on like where the world may go 100, 200 years from now, and how robots are going to rule the world. All sorts of weird stuff. And this is all stuff that science actually believes is going to happen.
Yeah, I'm actually happy, Jeff. I won't be around for that in 100 years to experience what is going to take place. I mean, if there's any indicator, Jeff, probably in 100 years, the world will probably blow itself up anyway. So we're going to have to live somewhere else and do some other things. But thankfully, I will not be around. But, Jeff, YouTube's always going to be around. Just think about in 100 years when people are going to go back and watch the right side of campus here on YouTube.
Yeah, well, I guess we'll see. But, I mean, Donnie, I guess the one thing I would think of, though, with like going to Mars, we can't get this country right. What makes you think we're going to go to Mars and make that country, that Earth?
Yeah,
right?
no, nothing. Yeah, well, we won't destroy that either and fight over it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's scary stuff. Put it that way. That kind of shit freaks me out. I shouldn't watch that stuff. Let's wrap it up here. Everyone have a great. No Coach Orgeron today. Maybe later in the week. Everyone have a great day. Thanks for checking us out here on the Right Side of Campus, the Monday edition. We'll be back Tuesday with another show. A lot of football to be talking about. That's coming up 24 days until college football starts. IFBC down the road. We get the NFL as well. A lot to go on here in the month of August. We'll be back tomorrow with more. Thanks to SPR for helping us out here today. Everyone have a great day. Bye-bye.